Following Joe Biden's election to president, the Iowa State College Republicans posted a viral tweet telling people, "Everyone, you must arm up. Expect these people to attempt to destroy your life. The elites want revenge on us." The tweet was uncovered by the Iowa State Daily, Iowa State's student newspaper. I spoke to Kylee Haueter, the reporter who covered the story, about what she thinks the broader implications of this tweet are.
I can't comment on the intentionality just because I wasn't able to reach the president of the club nor the advisor. Neither of them responded to my request for a statement. So I can't really comment on that. They said to the Des Moines Register, they said that they were not intending to incite violence, just to kind of state their Second Amendment rights. I definitely think it's towing the line, and I guess, it probably wasn't the greatest thing for a university organization to be tweeting during a very already polarized political climate.
Whether or not the tweet intentionally encouraged violence, it clearly uses violent language, telling people to arm up and expect these people to attempt to destroy your life. I spoke to Dr. Fingerhut, an LMU professor of social psychology, about how it is that politics can cause such visceral reactions in people.
We are increasing in the degree to which our political identities, our political ideologies are being tied to our sense of self.
Professor Fingerhut spoke of a recent study by the Brain and Creativity Institute at USC that explores why people have such emotional reactions to something like an election. The study was conducted on a group of self-identified liberals. In the experiment, the participants were shown evidence to counter non-political beliefs they held, such as the fact that Thomas Edison invented the light bulb. But participants were also shown evidence to counter their political beliefs, such as that gun control laws should be enacted. The reactions to both cases were very different.
In terms of these non-political beliefs, these beliefs that aren't really tied to the self, Thomas Edison, people were very willing to shift. When confronted with this news, they were willing to say, I'm not so confident anymore that Thomas invented the light bulb. Thomas Edison, I don't know. These other attitudes, though, not only did they not shift, they doubled down on them. So that's fascinating itself. But what's even more fascinating is what happened in the brain scan. For these political beliefs that are tied to sense of self, the amygdala activated. And the amygdala is a reptilian part of the brain. It's one of the evolutionarily older parts of the brain that is linked with the fear response. It is linked with fight or flight. So in other words, when confronted with these attitudes that counter what I currently believe, that could force me, if I accept these new beliefs, to change how I see myself, change, my social network, all these things. Fight or flight goes on.
At Iowa State, a public university in a predominantly red state, Haueter has experienced the effect of people being so emotionally tied to politics firsthand.
I think there is definitely the potential for conversation, and there definitely are individuals that do foster that conversation and do participate in that. But I think it is really hard to focus on that and to give them attention because of the loud voices, on all sides that are very, I don't want to say stuck in their ways. That's not a good way of putting it, but it is kind of an echo chamber. You aren't going to change their opinions by discussing with them. And any kind of discussion with them would turn into more of a probably argument as opposed to actual, healthy discussion.
But like Fingerhut said, the amygdala and its fight or flight impulse has been around since reptilian times. So why is it now that we see not only more violence, but also more violent threats all across the internet?
There's, a long literature on the role of crowds, and particularly the role of anonymity and de-individuation in crowds in leading to mob behavior, leading to anarchic behavior, leading to dangerous behavior. And so, again, I think probably many people in popular press and even in the science literature are talking about the shield that social media provides.
This does seem to be the case in terms of the Iowa State tweet. The Des Moines Register reports that Ryan Hurley, the president of Iowa State College Republicans, refused to identify which member wrote the tweet. Data actually shows that 88% of abusive social media posts occur on Twitter because of the fact that, unlike Facebook or Instagram, people aren't always connected to their friends and family on Twitter. It's a lot easier to be, or at least feel, anonymous. But Fingerhut also identified another potential factor at play.
We all often have an instant gut reaction to something. We now have been handed tools that make it very easy for us to just vomit that to the world, when we've never had that before. And not having that forces us to do what we should do, which is take a deep breath, take a moment to think about what we're thinking, weigh whether what part of us really believes that we're, and then move forward.
I reached out to the president of Iowa State College Republicans for comment, but received no response. Since then, the Iowa Federation of College Republicans voted to defederate Iowa State College Republicans from its chapter, according to the Iowa State Daily. Veronica BP, Election 2020, Los Angeles.